Uranus. You know what would be funny, and probably worth it, is to name him Dad. So when he's like 3 or 4 years old, and you're like in a restaurant, you're like, Dad, come here. Dad, stop
it. You know, I'm gonna be honest. I think Coulter is a good name. It's gonna get short too. And Cole, come on. Cole, what are we doing? What's your what's the father's name?
Adrian.
Adrian? Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. Sorry, Adrian, if you're here.
Jason Mans and I had a conversation about naming a dog.
JC Penney's that you have?
Jason Mans.
Oh, Jason Mans.
Had a conversation about naming a dog Come Here Boy. So you'd be like, Come here boy, come here boy. Come here boy, come here boy. It's wrong. It's you know, same forwards and backwards.
Any heritage? No, like you know, any kind of family name, nothing like that.
Finland.
I like Liam. It's a good name.
William or Liam?
Liam.
Short for William?
No. I don't know. You know where I found my son's name? I went on a website of sailing knots. Yeah, you guys, yeah, seriously. His name's Zeppelin, people think it's Led Zeppelin. It's not. His cord was tied to a knot when he was born, which is usually results in stillborns. So he made it past that. And when we didn't have a name for him yet, so we were all in the recovery room, and you know, family was there, and everybody was like, we gotta come up with a name for this kid. Everybody was on, you know, like babynames.com or whatever. It's like going, you know, Hunter, Gavin, and they're like, no, and I go on, I'm like sailing knots because it was a billboard. At the very end was the Zeppelin bend, which was the knot that they invented to tether the Zeppelin blimps that brought 2 ends together. And he was a twin, so I named him Zeppelin. So maybe if you find something like that, you don't have to have a name when it comes out. You don't. Maybe meet him first.
Very true.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Hi, I'm Chloe. We're here all the way from Alabama. I feel like Supernatural.
Roll Tide!
No, it's I feel like
Just kidding.
Supernatural has such an iconic musical influence. So I was wondering if y'all had a favorite song and scene combination, like when the brothers escape the bank and Renegade play.
Yeah.
That's certainly top 5 for sure.
Top 5 for sure.
You got one you love.
I love David Bowie playing in the Fight the Fairies episode. And specifically, so we didn't really know. We knew Back in Black, I think, was going to play. We had work to do. Other than that, they had suggestions of like this would be, you know, blah 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 plays in the background, but then the song is like $1 million for 10 seconds, and so they're like, we'll do this instead. But I was not in the scene in the motel room where he was fighting the fairy in the microwave, and so I watched the episode, and Sam was still soulless, and I kind of had fun playing that part of Sam. And so when I watched it as an audience member, you know, because I had read the script, but I wasn't there for his performance by himself, like a one-man show, running around, and I know how they do that stuff. It's not easy to film. And so I was watching it like, this is great. So that's one of my favorites. Dire Straits in the finale, when I'm burning the Dean effigy. Spoiler alert, sorry. That's the show. anything Carry On. I love the Carry On acoustic version that plays. Yeah, so many. Yeah, Nine Moves.
There were very few times. What?
So I had a pretty hilarious conversation with my Uber driver trying to explain to him what supernatural was. And what came out of that made me realize just how much humor is in the show and how important that was and drew me to it. And you guys are pretty famous for your shenanigans on and off set. So my question my question for you is, how have you drawn the line or attempted to draw the line of when you inject humor into work and when you don't?
Oh, I don't draw any line.
Any chance we get.
Any chance we get. The line is, if there's an opening, we take it. I think there was a great question earlier on from this side about how much creative input we have in different roles. And so I know that on Supernatural, we were fortunate in that it was, Sam and Dean for 327 episodes, every episode. And we had obviously amazing characters along the way that we've all met, you've met and love and appreciate. But we knew our speed. If that makes any sense? Like when you're doing an episode of television, it's 8 business days. So you do episode 1, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, have the weekend off. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, then you start episode 2, Thursday, Friday, weekend off, Monday, Friday, weekend off, Monday, episode 3, you know, yada yada, et cetera, et cetera. And so, at first, the first couple episodes of your season, you've had a couple months off, you've had a hiatus, you've been home, you've been traveling, whatever, and you're kind of chomping at the bit. But come about, what, like September, October, you're pretty tired. You're exhausted, you know, like 16-hour days, and you're starting Monday at 6 a.m., and then starting Friday at 6 p.m., and going to 6 a.m., and then doing it all over again. And so I think probably around season 2 or 3, when we would horse around on set or something, the producers knew that this is a double negative on purpose. They knew that we were not taking it seriously. They just knew, like, hey, we need a steam release valve. Like, we have to laugh on set because this next scene we're going to shoot is really emotional or very stunt specific and very physical. And so when we would horse around, they're like, okay, they're just getting it out. They're getting the wiggles out, and then when we start the next scene, there'll be game to play. So I think for the most part, we used it. You can also tell he's great at this. I can't speak to myself. But when the mood on set kind of becomes somber, or people are getting tired, and we're just like running up against a brick wall, proverbially, sometimes actually, he and I almost could sense, like, oh shit, everybody's tired. Someone's grumpy, somebody got a bad phone call, somebody's barking at each other because we're all just tired adults trying to coexist on a set, and it's 30 degrees outside and raining. And so we almost like kick it up a notch to really bring a smile to somebody's face, or to laugh, or even to each other. Like if we're sensing like, hey, they're pretty beat or pooped, or they're worried about this at home, or this back at their apartment in Vancouver. So you kind of like ride the wave. Does that sound accurate?
Yeah, it wasn't. We weren't just goofing around to goof around. There was a lot of that. But it was because we were able to do it, get the work done, but have fun doing it. And if we were having fun, crew was having fun. If crew was having fun, everybody was up, and everybody was actually able to do it, and they enjoyed coming to work. And so I think if you have people that can help create an environment of fun and laughter and excitement, that it gets you through those tough hours and those tough days. And so it wasn't just us being goofy and being unprofessional. We were that a lot.
Yes.
We were that a lot. Any opportunity we got, just like you said. But it also meant something that everybody understood. That Kid Manners early on said to us, he was like, listen, we spend way too much time away from our families and together doing this to not enjoy it. So if you don't enjoy it, you need to go away. So everybody showed up every day, including this guy, including me, and tried to enjoy it as much as possible. And part of doing that is having fun. Part of having fun are shenanigans.
And I try to take this on. I know he took this on to the 45 million projects he's done since. I tried to take it on to when I played Walker, but I will say the first time I ever played Walker, I didn't really play Walker, but I was referred to as Walker. He's a Texas Ranger by this guy in an episode called Frontierland. There's a dear friend of ours and a supernatural fucking legend named Guy Norman B, who directed it, and Guy B is sitting right there.
Asylum was that was the first episode.
Many more. He's an absolute legend, and
a well-loved family, member of the SPN family.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name's Yuzel. My question is, in the show, Dean said that he always wanted to be a firefighter. Had he been a firefighter and still knew about the hunting world, how would he have coped with the people that he lost on the job, and would he have tried to like bring him back with what he knew of the hunting world?
You're Dean, not me.
I think he was referring to a firefighter like George Strait refers to a firefighter. Do you know that song? You don't. I'm a fireman, putting out old flames. I always thought that's what it was referenced to. I don't think he actually wanted to maybe he wanted to drive the truck, but I don't think he legitimately met a fireman. I think it was a reference to that George Strait song myself.
Hi.
G squared. Oh, I'm Ronnie.
You ready?
My name is Ronnie.
Ronnie, hi Ronnie.
I wrote down my question. What do you think Sam and Dean would do if they Freaky Friday'd into each other's body for the day?
I mean, I have to find a magnifying glass to shower.
I could have set my watch by that just then. Like, hey, 3, 2, yep, there it is.
That was actually swap meet. It was actually written initially. The first script was we were in each other's bodies, and the first scene. Impenetrable my ass. So, like I was saying, initially I'm gonna say this correctly.
I just got a question. How do you sign that? How do you sign what he just, those shenanigans? You didn't have to. Just like action on stage. We've signed it going over here, just translating for us, and I just sometimes feel bad for them.
We're having to try and translate our crazy asses. So the initial script for Swap Meet, Sam, where is it? Sam looks like we swapped meat suits. And the first scene looks like Jared would have been the actor, at a disco dancing to Saturday Night Fever. And we find out it's because it's Dean's brain or heart or soul inside of swapped into Jared Padalecki / Sam Winchester's body. And I have some moves. Not in Chicago. That's a good question. That's a great question. What do you think we would do?
I can tell you what. If all of a sudden Dean was looking at Sam in the mirror, I would do this.
To his point, if Sam were looking at Dean in the mirror,
But I don't want to live like you know, alien giraffe.
It's warmer up here.
Air's thinner. I need more oxygen.
Thank you, sorry. Hi.
Oh my God. People are leaving. Thanks. It's happened. And it happened. 2025 Chicago.
Hi, I'm Alex, and my question was, what
And my question was,
But I'm leaving now.
I'm leaving. I bumped up my Uber ride.
what was one of your least favorite or a hard scene in the film?
Honestly, the Jared and Jensen playing Sam and Dean, playing Jared and Jensen playing Sam and Dean. That was for me extremely difficult because I wanted to stay true to who Sam was in the moment. So Sam playing Jared, playing Sam, and then watching the thing, and that was difficult. And then I think I recall a lot of stuff with Mark Pellegrino was difficult to shoot. Not because I love Mark, he's a phenomenal and intimidating actor, but because of Sam's PTSD, I had to remain in that headspace, at least between action and cut. And it was draining. You know, there's a scene, I forget which episode, but I wake up and I'm in like a cave and he's there, he's kind of torturing me, he's mentally, not physically, but I think it was like season 13 or 14, maybe the first episode, and I kind of come to in Apocalypse World or something. Yeah. And it was really difficult scene to shoot because I had to remember all the stuff that Sam had when Mark Pellegrino's Lucifer was in the room. I had to make sure to protect the way Sam would feel around his, terrorizer. So a lot of that was difficult to film. It's really...
Mine was also with Mark Pellegrino. When I was Michael, and Michael fought Lucifer in the church, like a couple of goddamn marionettes.
You know, I've never seen that scene. I've never watched that scene.
Don't.
I think that's why. I think when I got
Do you respect Supernatural?
I do.
Don't watch it.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Chris. My question for you is, if you could change one episode, what would you change and how would you change it?
The scene where I was...
I guess that scene. I've never seen it, but apparently, do it. Sorry, he got excited. He's gonna take a nap when we got this.
Never happens. No, honestly, so there are a list of scenes or even an episode that we talk greatly about bugs, or that scene with the Lucifer Michael, or killing of the Hellhound and all that stuff. Like there are things that we talk about that were really tough and really annoying or really uncomfortable or whatever it was. But it brought us to where we got. And I don't know that I would change any of it.
Not even the last episode?
Now it feels like you're leading the witness. It wasn't my real hair.
Not even the last one. And I'll say it, you know, if the show was just absolute perfection from tip to stern, I don't think it would have given us something to rally around as much as the way this show had to find its footing and had to continue to trip and had to continue to fall down and had to continue to get back up again.
With y'all's help. Thank you. We're going to say hi to Jessica. Jessica, say hi to Chicago. Where are you from?
I'm from Batavia, which is a small town around here.
Pretty cool. Is this your first supernatural convention?
This is my third, actually.
Well, welcome back. Thank you so much. Look at your. All right, so you are the last question, so we bring you up here. You can see what we can see. It's pretty awesome. But let's go ahead and do it. It's going to be awesome.
To be here, to meet you guys, and I love you a lot, and the show has gotten me through a lot of dark times, and I found a lot of inspiration in the characters. So I just wanted to say that. And also, you know, there's been a lot of death scenes on the show, and I was wondering what your favorite death scene was, either film or watch, and then if there's one that was particularly difficult to film or watch.
Oh, wow. I think it's the first time. Thank you for the question. To film, I mean, barn, what's it called? I do, maybe I'm a masochist or something, I do like watching the reaction videos to 1520. And I'll like text Ackles at 2 a.m. like, I'm watching another reaction video. They totally get us. I think, you know what's funny? Mystery Spot, all of the deaths. To the French mistake, Jared, Sam, Jensen, Dean of it all. I just tried to remain true to Sam, but Sam's brother was dying. And so like every day, Dean died 3 times during the filming of it. And like, I was all cried out. I was like, I can't, like, there's no, like, dust was falling on my face. But they were difficult because I tried to stay true to Sam, even knowing that it was kind of a comedic episode. I met this guy during the episode. He was an actor in it. He came back. I can't recall. He was short.
I wasn't in that episode.
Not important. But yeah, I think Mystery Spot was pretty difficult. Ackles?
I'm going to take you back, and I just thought of something. Pilot episode, Mom's Death. This was 2005. Visual effects was not really what it is, not even close to what it is today, but it wasn't, we didn't really have the tools of that trade when we were filming first season of Supernatural. Certainly the pilot of Supernatural. They built that bedroom in the parking lot because they set it on fire. That was a real fire. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, that was the Jets. It was the mom. It was the Jets. They built a set in the parking lot. They lit the thing on fire.
Yeah, 3 walls, the roof thing, and there was 1 empty wall.
And Jared was inside this room. And I was outside the room. And I was supposed to wait. I don't think I've ever told you this. I I was supposed to wait for a cue from the assistant director to run in and grab him. I did not wait for that cue. I wasn't even looking at it. I was watching the flames, and I could feel the heat, and I know, I mean,
I got burned.
and I basically waited as long as I thought I could for you, and this is the first time we worked, this is the first episode. And I'm watching it, he's over here supposed to give me a cue, like, okay, now go. And I'm like, screw you, dude. I'm gonna try to make sure that this guy is safe. And the flames it burned much quicker than they anticipated. And it got so hot in there, so quickly, I just ran in and grabbed it. That was a good concern. Inside the room. They were all outside. And then sent the only other actor into the blaze to pull the other one out. And they're all just in full, like, fireman outfits. And we're dressed like Sam and Dean.
Unreal. It's ridiculous.
And back in those days, sorry, that was the last question, but remember Wendigo, our actor who played the Wendigo, was not a stuntman, and they put him in a fire suit
And did a full burn.
What?
Yes.
That's crazy. His name was Roy, and I guess when you do the fire suit, they put all the fire retardant on you.
And the gel, they put the gel.
Then you have to keep your eyes closed because they have to fill in the gap where it's just skin with gel, and they lit him on fire. He was an actor. He was not a stunt guy. He was like